Hello everyone. My name is Eric, and I'm Chinese. I live and work at Washington, D.C. as a reporter and a YouTuber or influencer, whatever. My video talk show focuses on political review, especially on Chinese issues. My program began 4 years ago. This is the first time you see me, maybe, because normally I made a video in Chinese. Since March 2020, the coronavirus or COVID-19 broke out in the United States and all over the world. I have witnessed the number of infected people in the United States climbing up from 1,350 to 250,000 5 days ago when this article was written. Today the number is over 400,000. This number grows by tens of thousands every day. As to the worldwide, the number is more than 1.4 million now. Moreover, tens of thousands of people died painful deaths in America, in Italy, in Spain, British, and more countries. This pandemic is a disaster and a tragedy. Seeing the number jumping day by day, I feel astonished, sad, and sorry, especially as a Chinese where the virus broke out from. I feel more sorry. Actually, I didn't feel like this at the beginning when I came back to China on January for the Chinese Lunar New Year. As a reporter, I knew some contagious disease emerged at Wuhan at December 2019. In consider of the tradition of the Chinese government to cover bad news up, we don't know what exactly what it is and how serious it is. So I also want to do some investigation in China with my own eyes. According to the Chinese officer, they declared the disease is controllable and not likely contagious from man to man. I don't really trust them, but I still didn't think it's a big deal. The reason maybe is that we Chinese experienced the SARS in 2003. That made me think there is no other disease could be more serious than SARS. But when I landed in Beijing on January 24, the largest city in middle of China, which has more than 15 million people, Wuhan city was locked down, so things seemed to be much more serious. The next 2 weeks, numerous tragic messages came from Wuhan through social media, while the authority ignored. So that's the first point I want to tell you, the American people. As born in a free speech country, you may not treasure this right as me. At some critical moment, lack of freedom of speech could be lethal. On January 3rd, some doctors knew a new SARS showed up. They spread the message to warn their friends and colleagues and relatives, but they were attested by policemen. Then the Chinese CDC and the propaganda department and the police department forbidden anyone, any doctor, to talk about the new SARS on social media or anywhere. So even many doctors know that. They can only whisper in private. One of the early whistleblowers, Dr. Li Wenliang, was even infected and died aged 34. Actually, the Chinese government, the Hubei province government, did nothing from January 1st to January 20. That led to the outbreak of the disease in Wuhan. Before Wuhan was locked down, millions of people have left out of scare because they have known the truth is not that optimistic as officials said. Some of them are virus carriers, including the one attended a meeting in Singapore that infected the first patient in Europe, and the one who came back to Seattle as the first case in America. So this is the first thing I want to express here. The freedom of speech, the early warning is so important. Some institute did some research show that if Chinese government did the right thing on January 3rd. There may be 95% less deaths in Wuhan. Later, being aware of the pandemic cannot be controlled silently, Chinese government began to implement severe policy to shut down and lock down Wuhan city. Along with miserable and huge deaths, the death number still unknown, still unclear. The Chinese government said it's only over 3,000, but no one believes this number. But the virus was indeed controlled in most part of China in February. The reason is simple. Not only Wuhan, all 400 cities were shut down and over 1 billion people were half forbidden to stay at home. This is the second point I want to share. Quarantine is necessary. It's the key to control a pandemic. The third thing I want to tell here is that wearing masks, gloves, and goggles really helpful. Actually, what urged me to do this English program is seeing this.
Epidemic and Zika. What makes coronavirus so different?
It's a respiratory-borne illness that easily spreads from person to person.
As Dr. Fauci said, this virus may be the most treacherous virus a human being ever met. It can be contagious without symptom and be spread even through air. A Chinese CDC expert was even infected when he was looking at the patient without wearing glasses. It's said that the virus infected him through eye. But more doctor and nurse avoid infected by wearing mask. Another case is in a pharmacy where a healthy man was infected only because he stood aside a confirmed case later for about 50 seconds. He didn't wear mask then. So that's why most public places like restaurant and gym and bar, cinema should be shut down, and why people should wear masks in supermarket. Actually, in the whole January, February, and March, all 1.4 billion Chinese in China are wearing masks. Someone even wear it at home. The Chinese overseas adopted these strict measures, masks, gloves, and disinfectant, no going out. That's why in the hardest hit area in northern Italy, the Lombardy region, and also the largest Chinese community in Europe, there are 50,000 Chinese people there, none of them infected. The same thing happened in Flushing in New York. The MIT scientists show that the virus can spread 27 feet in the air. The Nature Medical magazine published a paper. The data of the past 5 years shows that the mask is effective in preventing the spread of influenza, the seasoning coronavirus. To be honest, we Chinese are really hard to understand why Western people are so averse to masks. Perhaps the Westerns are more courageous or adventurous or maybe stronger, or maybe it's just because you haven't experienced SARS or you are not familiar with this new coronavirus. And when you heard around 1% mortality rate, you think it's just a bigger flu. I saw in TV news that in February, even some people licked the railings or even trash cans, showing that they can beat the virus. But this one is really different. Besides disease itself, the pandemic inflicts heavy loss on American economy and all other countries' economy. Humans never encountered such things in more than 1 century. As the British Queen said, it's the most challenge since World War II. Almost the whole world was like pushed the pause key. Many people lost their jobs and struggled for their rental and credit card bill, including me. After leaving China in February, I spent 1 month to be back to home in Maryland. That cost me a lot, but that's another story. Now I still stay at home, maybe 1 month or maybe more. Almost half a year passed. So I think the 2020 is crazy, it's ridiculous. Last month, there was some attack aiming at Chinese or Asian people around the world. I can partially understand. Everybody hates virus. Everybody is scared of it. Just as in January or February in China, most province forbidden people come from Wuhan or Hubei province to entry. Also on my back trip last month, I saw the panic in the eyes of airline staffs of some other country when they saw my Chinese passport. I feel a little depressed and some kind of guilty. The COVID-19 will sure have a far-reaching influence on human beings. Here I give the best wish to you, to us all, to defeat it and pull through this dark hour. Hope everyone who got this disease recover soon, including the British Prime Minister Johnson. Hope everyone will be fine. The Chinese American community also collect some medical resources to donate. If any hospital need, please contact me.
Per day to conserve and prepare for the worst. 1 mask to protect ourselves from catching and spreading this deadly virus.
At last, allow me to briefly introduce myself. I'm the producer and host of this talk show. My talk show are mainly political reviews on Chinese affairs, international affairs. One of the purposes of my program is to convey the truth to Chinese in China mainland and enhance mutual understanding between China and the United States or other countries. Because most of the international conflicts roots in being blind to each other, lack of mutual trust. Although in my view, this largely due to the ideology confliction and information blocked by Chinese government. Meanwhile, I feel it's the same significant and meaningful to show America a true China, which a little bit different from that on the media, on the CNN or Fox, or on the movie. I can show you the true Chinese government, true different people groups in China. So if you have any question about Chinese government, about Chinese Communist Party, you can leave a comment below. And if you like my video, you can subscribe and share. This video was not on my plan. Actually, I have one draft 4 years ago. And this one is just because an idea came out of my mind 5 days ago. So this one became my first English video. And please forgive my Chinese style English and accent, because normally I make videos in Chinese. So if you like it, maybe I can make an English video every week. Hope to see you next time. Bye.